My favorite has always been the turkey, candy yams, rice. I'm a simple guy.
Do y'all know how big a turkey is? So how is that simple?
Hosting family.
We told jokes and we laughed. We talked about the day. My grandfather told a lot of silly stories. We just had a good time sitting there enjoying our special meal.
How things were presented, how the meals were prepared, how the table was set with such love, such respect. And that specifically was on a Sunday. It was just different. And it was unspoken, but it was an unspoken rule that everyone knew across the board. Even if you came to the house, you didn't have to explain it. You just knew it.
New Year's Day is Haitian Independence Day, so that is probably the most notable dinner at our house, where we can have anywhere from 8 to like 35, 40 people.
I think pre-technology, you had your Saturday and Sunday dinners and your weekday dinners where you had that time frame. You sat and it was family and your friends came by. When we had my daughter's iPads came into play. That wouldn't be in our family settings when I grew up.
My maternal grandmother, she always has been great about gathering her family together. Those times really gave me an opportunity to bond with my cousins and with my uncles and my aunts.
Sometimes the younger generation will go in the back, play video games, try out the next best game or whatever the case is, playing trivia games, stuff like that. And while the older family will be playing cards and stuff like that, sitting there watching them do that.
So I love when my cousins come over and when my aunts come over, because I know that my dad will always make his famous chicken.
This is one of the hardest questions.
Yeah, no, I don't know this. I don't know the answer to this. I don't know. When mom sees this, what am I gonna say?
Because there's just too many choices. The list is too long.
Steak and potato salad.
Yams.
A sweet potato pie.
I'll say black rice. It's a very common Haitian dish. Soup jumeau.
Peanut butter soup and okra and fufu.
Smothered pork chops.
With white corn.
With white corn and some rice and gravy. Yeah, I love it.
My favorite has always been the turkey, candy yams, rice. I'm a simple guy.
Do y'all know how big a turkey is? So how is that simple?
It's not that simple. What about mac and cheese?
Mac and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese.
Man's face, mac and cheese.
If you're gonna do it properly, you gotta do three different cheeses. Bacons and throw that in there with onions.
Some of my favorite foods that my dad makes. So once he made this chicken that he marinated and did something with it. I don't know, I'm not a proper chef or whatever.
I'm not a fan of cooking, and anyone who knows me.
That's true.
No, what? You hear him? He said that's true.
My grandmother, your great grandmother, she was phenomenal. I mean, everything was made from scratch. She used to have us go and pick the cherries off the tree and crush them, and she would make homemade wine. When Christmas came, she did a whole another theme of food. She would start preparing in the summertime. I still don't understand, but she would take watermelon rind, peel the watermelon rind, and preserve it. And that would become part of her fruit cake.
Growing up in England, and my wife made fun of it. Most of the English food is bland, nothing going on. English didn't know what salt and pepper was. Oh, this is being aired, right? Okay, sorry. Rewind that. I grew up in Caribbeans and curries and all that, and so it was a massive plus, and it gave you a sense of who you are. Breakfast wouldn't be blood pudding and every times and beans and toast. I mean, I love it, but being a Caribbean, you have your ackee and everything else, and you just went, wow, okay. So when your friends came over, they were like, oh, let's go to Sam's.
When I eat my mom's food, since I don't eat it a lot, I think she cares more when she's doing it. At least I hope so.
Just watching my family cook, they put so much love into what they're doing, so much care. And I find that that's something that I have actually adopted. It's like when I'm cooking, I'm putting my all into that.
The main thing, if I tell you to be there at 4 o'clock, try to be there. because there's only one microwave. The oven is not going to hold but so much heating up food. But I just like for them to be there on time.
Well, when I'm hosting family dinner, the one thing that I keep in mind is to make sure that I kind of give over the feeling that my home is your home.
Oh, bring everybody there. Because that's what I do. I host the family dinner, especially like Thanksgiving is my time.
Yep.
And my door is open to everybody. You don't have to be blood relative to come into my home to eat. I enjoy cooking because my cooking brings out the love that I have. I'd rather not eat. I just want to watch everybody else eat. And it just fills my heart, brings tears to my eyes.
Our Sunday dinner was after church. My grandmother used to host a Reverend, which means that she would have to cook even more because he had a big family.
Bring out the good china.
And bring out the good china.
Prayer before dinner, it just binded everything together, just kind of put everything in place. It just,
Everybody always ate at the same table. My dad said if he sneaked a peanut butter sandwich right before to eat, then he wanted to sit up and pray for an hour. And we'd be starving.
Should the host take on the responsibility of cooking all the food? Depends on the host. You know, I would imagine that if you took on the responsibility of hosting, you know how to cook as well.
I mean, if that's the case, I'll never be a host.
I'm given a Sunday, so I chose every 5th Sunday, because it doesn't come around too often, to cook. I'll be honest, I do not like cooking that much.
Honestly, I think that's a generational thing. I think just growing up with my mom would do all the cooking, you know, would start at 5 in the morning.
You do it real early in the morning.
But when she's hosting, you know, she's very stressed sometimes. You know, kitchen's kind of a mess. She's going all over the place. So I kind of just try to stay out the way, you know, until the food's ready, then I'm out there.
My mom, being the host, she's so good at cooking, so it's kind of like, why would I disturb that?
I don't really help my family in the kitchen. Unless it's baking cookies and brownies, I'm your girl, I'm in, but nothing else.
I do feel like being the host, it's nice if someone can help and bring a dish, or it kind of brings everything together, but in our family, everyone knows if you're going to so-and-so's household, we come to eat.
When someone brings a dish that's not good, you want to be polite about it.
Leave it in the kitchen for a little while until someone brings it up that it's not on the table. Because when everyone eats, everything is placed on the table. So did I forget that? Oh. And then we bring it out.
I wouldn't eat it. I'm very picky anyway, so I can kind of get away with that.
See, if there's 15 people there, I would pass it around to all them 15, and I hope when it get to me, it's gone. Or either I would tell when it give them to me, they go, didn't you taste it? Oh, I'm so full. I can't eat nothing else. And then, if there's something left, I'd put it in the garbage without them knowing it. Wash their dish and tell them take it right on home when they go.
I don't, you know, I'm not going to try to hurt their feelings. I mean, that's something I wouldn't do.
So if they did that at my house, when everybody just leaves, I would just secretly throw it out.
You gonna throw it out, London?
What do you think I'm gonna do? Leave it in my fridge?
Should you accept store-bought or fast food as a contribution?
Ooh. No.
Oh, not in my house.
I would say pretty much a resounding no.
No.
Absolutely not. What?
No.
No, not if I'm inviting people. I want it, you know, homemade.
And with the family dinners, I just feel like that's not the look you want.
There's definitely a lot more judgment there from the African side. And depending on who brought the store-bought food, like if it's someone that the family is already kind of judging, maybe you got a new girlfriend or wife and they're already wondering if she cooks or not, and then you show up with something store-bought, then they're automatically gonna pull your card. Like, oh, so she doesn't know how to cook, does she? Okay. So that would be a thing. You know, it's just more traditional. So yeah, that's not something that I see a lot, store-bought food brought to African get-togethers.
If someone brought store-bought food into my mother's house in the English Caribbean family, yeah, it's just bye. When I grew up, people would come with their pots, like with food already in it. You have the pot of goat, whatever it is. There was no way they would come in with like Kentucky Fried Chicken in a box, you know. That just, it'll be check off the list, do not call, do not send them an invite.
Unless it's candy. Bring candy.
The salad.
Or wine. Food someone should not make if they are not sure would be greens.
Chicken.
Oh, curry. If you don't know what you're doing with curry, please just leave it alone.
Macaroni and cheese.
That's what I was gonna say.
If you do not know how to make potato salad, please don't bring it. Because some people like Miracle Whip. Some people like to put onions. I don't like onions. I don't know about you, Mama. Some like to put celery. We don't do celery.
I feel like things that have a lot of fixings and that you can play around with the fixings, some people get a little bit too creative and they start to put things on top of stuff that shouldn't go there, and that's when you start going into a bad place. You know, a lot of recipes are traditional for a reason. They've worked for decades, you know, almost hundreds of years. You know, like you think about a good, like, you know, arroz con pollo, right? Like that's been made the same way, you know.
Yes,
for
he's Puerto Rican in his family.
Or yeah. There's a lot of Latin in my family. So, but like greens and everything, like those things have been made a certain way forever. So if you want to get, like, you know, new age and try to like spice it out and start putting, like, you know, raisins and shaved almonds and stuff and where they don't need to go, it doesn't. You know, you might as well create something new if you're gonna do it. But if you're gonna do a classic dish, I think you should try to do it the classic way and make sure you focus on the classic ingredients, and it should come out good.
The one thing you don't want is somebody to be like, oh, who made that? And it's like, Ashley did it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you liked it, then I did it.
Right, if you don't like it,
I didn't
just pick somebody else.
If someone is acting up in my home, meaning, I'm assuming you meaning a guest.
If it's like my godson or if it's someone else, it's like, oh, it's okay, it's not a problem. But let that happen to us.
Okay, it was a different
energy.
It was
now it's very like,
it's like a new season. It's okay with them, but it was harder on us.
If it's an adult, they just hit your bar a little bit too much, you're like, mate, it's time for you to like jog on, leave, bye, ta-da, see ya.
Get in taxi, Uber.
Yeah, I got you Uber, yeah.
Pull them to the side and just have a little conversation.
Listen, these are the rules, and right now you're kind of overstepping boundaries.
Now that's the other side of Mama. The way that my table is close to the window, like, you know, with the chairs. I can't throw a chair, but I can drag. Drag them right through my kitchen. It's a hall, and right at that door. And once I lock the door, they can't come back in.
One thing that my mom taught me in terms of family dinners and tradition, in terms that I've passed on to my kids, is just that bond. It's such a great tool of bonding. So I do wish that it's something that I did do more.
And it's times that I cherish a lot. Some of my best memories come from Sunday dinners.
It was just so much love, that energy in that room, like now that we are vibes, and it was contagious.
I feel like it decreased because everybody get older, and then Mama, sometimes she's sick, and everybody, they have their families and stuff like that. But New Year's resolution is gonna increase.